And today we're going to be moving into some more exciting territory. We're going to be talking about the Green Party and how it plans to take every single bit of money. You'll own nothing, but you will be happy. I am glowing a little bit, but you know what? That is totally fine. So the first thing that we're going to go over is where is it? Oh yeah, here. A share of community ownership in local sustainable energy infrastructure, such as wind farms. Now, wind farms, pretty good idea. Except it kills a lot of birds. Also, it doesn't generate a whole lot of electricity, and it's not actually very green because a lot of these wind farm parts are actually made in China using coal power. So I'm not really sure how that's going to help the planet become more green, as obviously the Green Party sort of suggests. But it's also going to make us poorer because, it takes quite a few windmills, or I suppose wind turbines, to generate the electricity that the entire country would need, especially like compared to the cost of like coal and stuff. So talking about that, actually, if we go down, a wealth tax of 1% annually on assets above £10 million and a 2% on assets above £1 billion. Only a tiny minority of people would pay this tax. So, what I want you to remember is if you get too successful, the government will tax you and they'll not give you anything in return. You'll not get priority, sort of, I don't know, seating for the NHS. You'll literally get nothing. No police protection or out like that. No, they literally just want your money, and if you don't give it them while you're evading taxes, you go to prison. So essentially, the Green Party wants to shake you down on 1% of your £10 million fortune. So instead of passing that down to like your kids or your grandkids, you've got to pay it to Zach Polanski. And that's actually a Green Party policy. I can't even work out how this makes sense. Like, I guess I do, because you're taxing rich. Like that's okay, I suppose. Except we already have some of the highest taxes for the rich in all of Europe. It's like Ireland is getting a lot more billionaires from what I know, and we're getting a lot less just from like rich people leaving so they don't have to pay our taxes. So like if we just have a look here, right? I really hope my microphone's working as well because I'm not swapped it over. We estimate that by the end of the next parliament, these changes could raise additional revenue of between 50 and £70 billion per year. Sounds amazing, right? There's so many things that you could spend this money on, don't get me started. But yeah, they're not really accounting for the fact that a lot of rich people and essentially a brain drain will start. So like everyone who's like working good jobs because they're smart enough to work these jobs wants to leave to say America, the rest of Europe, maybe even Ireland. It's literally across like the Irish Sea. So they just go there, pay barely any taxes, and their quality of life goes up because they've got more money. So in the end, we're not going to get 70 billion pounds per year because the rich people are going to flee before you manage to tax them. I it's like it's barely going to be like a boost to the government's like expenditure, or I suppose income, for what, a couple of years, and then people are just going to start moving. That's just how it's going to work. So next up, we've got fairer, greener social support. They always include the green a bit. Ignore these two up here. I'm assuming that kid's got Down syndrome. Not going to question why he's wearing the Leon Trotsky glasses. Oh well. So if we move down here, increase universal credit and legacy benefits by £40 a week. Now, all I'm saying, right, is this is just taking money through taxes from people who have a job and work, right? Before anyone calls me unemployed, I have a job. Like, I'm not going to swear, but yeah, I have a job. Um, and they're giving it to people who don't work and don't want to work because they'll never need to work because the state and the taxpayer is funding their life. So if we just move on, abolish the two-child benefit cap, lifting 250,000 children out of poverty. Now, that sounds really good. Don't get me wrong, that sounds brilliant. Except, I'm sort of, I'm going to call myself a nativist, right? I think the native people of Britain are being replaced by immigration, and the majority of families with more than two children now, because of the cost of living and all of that, and especially culture, in fact, a lot of the families with more than two children they're not ethnically English or they're not culturally English at all. So essentially, you're paying for your own ethnic replacement by abolishing the two-child benefit cap. I mean, that's just unbelievable. And in fact, I think this already happened. But this is the greenparty.org manifesto. So I don't know what to say about that. If we move on to the end of the bedroom tax, I looked into this because I didn't actually know what it was. Apparently, it's where you get 14%, I think, less universal credit if you have a spare bedroom, which does make sense because why have you got a spare bedroom but you've also got no money? This makes no sense. We've got a housing crisis. What are you doing? So, in the long term, introduce a universal basic income to give everybody the security to start a business, study, train, and live their life in dignity. Live their life in dignity, meaning getting all of your money, food, pretty much every single thing you need from the state. So that's brilliant. But I quite like this idea, right? To start a business, you're gonna have enough money that you can just live successfully and then start your own business. But this isn't what would happen. This just isn't. It isn't gonna happen. People are gonna take the money, spend it on things like pints, and then the government's just down a lot of money. That's literally it. And the taxpayer are paying for people's pints, which already happens. So it is just it really it does my head in. Like this bit, right? Restore the value of disability benefits with an immediate uplift of 5%. 5% is probably more than like the raises in the last 2 years, like working people have got who are on a salary. Like, I'm not gonna look into that, it might not be true, but why? Why would you possibly uplift this? So I've got a relative who's gonna like remain unnamed, obvious reasons. I'm not exactly saying the most left wing stuff. I've got a relative who works as a carer, right? And uh, I mean, they always say that the people they care for have a ton of disability money. Genuinely just a safe full of money. As in more money than she works, or he, earns in like, I don't know, a month as a carer. The people who you're taking care of, as part of your job, have more money than you who's working full time. And you want to give them 5% more money while taxing the carer. I, I mean, what? So the next bit, it makes me really mad. So just bear with me. So here's the part where they say providing fairer, greener homes for all, right? I did tell you that they included greener in literally every single one of these. Like if we go to the top, oh no, to be fair, nature, that counts as green. Also, when you highlight stuff, it turns green. Mental. But yeah, if we go to this, it's all about building houses, right? Which the government is supposed to play a massive part in, especially with like stuff like council housing. Obviously, you get private new builds, fair enough. It's how builders and stuff make money. But the government is one that builds most of the housing, as far as I know. So if we have a look down here, right, this part isn't too bad, right? Spread small developments across their areas, and that's for like local councils and stuff. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So all new developments to be accompanied by the extra investment needed in local health, transport, and other services. That's more taxes because that's going to cost a lot more money for the government. I don't even know what this actually means. Passive house. Is that just supposed to mean it? Oh, right, okay, so I'm pretty sure the home just maintains itself. It's on about heat pumps and solar panels. Oh well. Solar panels, also a big scam. They're not green. Like, for the love of God, they make them in China. They use coal energy. What do you want? They use oil gas. So, if we go down here, right, and this is part that, like, it pisses me off, but not as much as this bottom bit. Our energy bills are far too high because we have the worst insulated homes in Europe. What? Like, these people are actually saying we have the worst insulated homes in Europe. Meanwhile, like 2 days ago, I was genuinely just waking up drenched because my house is boiling. And I could not go downstairs because it was boiling. I could not go into the loft. It was boiling. I was just sort of stuck on the second floor of my house. What do you mean it's badly insulated? It's keeping heat in too well. Right, so if we keep going, we would bring down bills by reducing the loss of heat from homes because the cheapest bill is one that you don't have to pay. Thank you. Okay, this is something I'd have put in maybe like a year 6 speech. What? What? What do you mean the cheapest bill is one you don't have to pay? No shit. Right, so if we move on again, elected Greens will push for a local authority led, street by street retrofit programme to insulate our homes, provide clean heat, and start to adapt our buildings to more extreme climate conditions. Okay, good. Except these people are against air conditioning, so we wouldn't be getting air cons. So you're just going to have to boil alive or go outside. Not bad, now that I mention it, but still, you'd like to sleep in your own house instead of, I don't know, under a fucking tree because it's cooler. So, 29 billion over the next 5 years to insulate homes to an EPC B standard or above as part of a 10-year program. 29 billion pounds. This is money that genuinely were missing, as far as I know. There were a 24 billion pound black hole, and they're just going to pull 29 billion pounds over 10 years out of. Oh no, over over the next 5 years out of their arses. So, £4 billion over the next 5 years to insulate other buildings to a high standard. It's going to cost extra on top of this. 9 billion over the next 5 years for low carbon heating systems for homes and other buildings. Well, isn't that just brilliant? Except that China's ramping up its factory count. I feel like I'm talking about Euphoria. But yeah, China's doing a load of industrial stuff. India's doing a load of industrial stuff. Us cutting down does not change anything. We're just making ourselves poorer and them richer. Like, what? No, no. Drill the North Sea, and then you can use that energy to heat homes and such. It's not that difficult. Norway does it. Norway is a Western country like us, and they're earning so much more from their oil. Genuinely. We have a claim on the North Sea, let's just do it. We pledge to provide 150,000 new social homes every year through new builds. Let's see. A community right to buy for local authorities for several categories of property. Okay, don't know what that means. Ending the individual right to buy. So, essentially, what this last one is you will own nothing but be happy. If you want to buy a house and leave it to your children or grandchildren, which I assume many people would want to do as part of their legacy, you're not allowed to buy your house and do that. I mean, what sense does this make? It's like no one is going to want to, like, I don't know, upkeep the house because they've never got a chance of actually owning it. It makes no sense. So, rent controls as well, right? I mean, they're pretty much saying if you do own a house, right, if you own something and you're happy, well, that's not allowed anymore because we're going to control how much rent you can charge, which just makes people sell their houses because they can't use them for what they wanted to. It just, oh my god, it makes no sense. So, we pledge to provide 150,000 new social homes. This takes me on to my next point. I'm going to need a break because my throat feels like cobblestone. So, I'm back again before I lose my voice. The whole like 150,000 houses, where is it? That 150,000 new social homes comes into this a fairer, greener welcome. Now, at first, I didn't know what this was on about. I thought, hang on, a fairer, greener welcome. What is that actually supposed to mean? Is it supposed to mean like welcome to the job market? Welcome to like, I don't know, the housing market? Maybe like get people started off with something? Hell, maybe it's even, I don't know, doing like apprenticeships. No, it's their policy on migrants, refugees, and where is it? Supporting migrants to put down roots. The Green Party wants more ethnic enclaves. So forget what happened to like places like Stoke-on-Trent, Birmingham, Bradford, where like even London, where areas aren't even like ethnically English anymore. Just massive swaths of the city aren't ethnically English. They want to help them put down more roots. I'm against mass migration, and I'm not saying to bully, harass, attack anyone that's a migrant or just isn't part of your ethnic group, alright? Because I know how people are going to spin this. But we should not be for ethnic replacement. So these 150,000 houses, where are they going to go? Well, they're going to go to, where is it? Oh, the asylum seekers that get to work while their application's being decided. Now, where are they going to live? Well, they're going to have to be put somewhere. And luckily, the government has just built 150,000 new houses, which I can almost guarantee doesn't happen because they never hit the housing goal. But yeah, migrants and refugees, we're fetching a load of those guys in, legal and illegal. And I'm gonna say this: legal migrants, like legal migration, is a bigger threat to British society than illegal migration, just based on the amount, the pure numbers. Um, so yeah, essentially, you want a house? Well, too bad because we've got to put these people somewhere. Like even if it's just I don't know temporarily while their application's being decided. Well, for the Green Party, we're not going to reject them. But I mean, look at this: safe routes to sanctuary for those fleeing persecution. Now, this really does my head in because they're fleeing from places like France, Germany, Spain, even. If you've seen it, Ceuta, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's like these people are not fleeing persecution. They're coming to the UK because the UK will give them benefits, housing, a phone, even a gym, staff, actual staff while they're put in hotels. Now I know that we're getting rid of the hotels, but these migrants have to go somewhere, and apparently that's in a town of like 250 people. If you don't know what I'm referencing, Google it. It's unbelievable. It genuinely is unbelievable. Oh, and if you wanted to see some of the contributions that the migrants and refugees make to British society, again, not advocating for violence or hate or anything like that, harassment. Nope, not doing it. Let's just have a look, shall we? Okay, so we've got the Belfast attack. Lovely. Stabbing victim lost an eye during attempted beheading by a Sudanese suspect in Northern Ireland. Now, are the Sudanese native to Ireland? No. This guy's a migrant. Lovely. So, how about we go to the benefit rate? Oh, lovely. I don't know if this is entirely accurate, but I believe it is. So, Congo, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Algeria, benefit claims per 1,000 people, right? The UK, about 100 per 1,000 people. Congo, over 400 per 1,000 people. I mean, this is just unbelievable. So, essentially, the contribution that migrants and refugees make, a lot of them are just claiming benefits. This is literally all. This is the contribution that the Green Party is so invested in. Because it goes on from here: Congo, Iraq, Afghanistan, Algeria, Eritrea, Syria, Somalia, Iran, Morocco, Slovakia. And I assume there's many more, but they had to put the UK on the graph. So that's brilliant. So, what else? What else has migration brought to the UK? Oh, well, we need to spend £125 million to £140 million per year on public sector translation and interpreting services because many of these asylum seekers and migrants don't actually know how to speak English to a proficient level. That is just amazing. So the same people that will probably be claiming all of these benefits, they can't speak the language of the country that they're in. Amazing. And before I leave, because I'm about to like lose my voice, I'm gonna make it clear, right? This, by Labour, is also a terrible economic policy. Disabled people in England to get 24-hour free bus travel. Sounds brilliant. Sounds amazing. Currently, it's only 9:30, well, 11 o'clock at night on weekdays. Okay, fair enough. Except these people get disability living allowance, right? So they can definitely pay for a bus ticket. Except if we go down here, where is it? I can't actually find where it said the price. Oh, this is awkward. Okay, give me a second and I will find this. So it took a little bit of finding. It took the piss a little bit. But disabled people travel free buses all day. Now, it sounds like a brilliant one. Brilliant policy idea. Not really. It's a bit like fringe. But if we go here, the policy will be backed by £60 million of funding, made up of £40 million from the Department for Work and Pensions and £20 million from the existing Department for Transport budget. Are you taking the piss? So we get taxed even more on top of everything else we've seen in all of these. We get taxed extra so that a disabled person at 1 in the morning can get back from, I don't know, going to a nightclub for free. I don't even know what to say about this. So I'm just going to leave that for you to like dwell on a little bit. And I just want you to have a think about how much poorer you want to be under the Green Party if that is genuinely the party that you want to vote for. So, yeah, this has been Angry Dibble. I hope you enjoyed the video. And God willing, the Green Party will never come to power.